YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner, bruh. And this is a spoiler-filled review of Attack on Titan, bruh. Season 1. The time has come, and I have finished Attack on Titan. Yes, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. We have this review to bust out for you guys. I'm Jody Joe. Thank you guys so very much for being here. So, let's talk about this. This is going to be spoiler talk. If you guys haven't seen Attack on Titan, I would recommend that you guys probably do not watch this review if you do intend on watching this show. But hey, you know, to each their own. All right, so this is a show in, I don't want to say a post-apocalyptic world or a pre-apocalyptic world, but I want to say it's Earth. I want to say this takes place on Earth because there was mentions of oceans and mountains and stuff like that. But let's say this takes place on Earth somewhere in the past. And in this world that we exist in, this land of Attack on Titan is a world where they're secluded by big, huge walls. It's a large city surrounded by a large wall. And then there's an inner city within that city that's surrounded by a bigger wall. And then there's an inner city within that that's layered by a bigger wall. So it's one big city, then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And the more in you get, the more rich and the better the climate, the more privileged you are. That's how it is. And there's a reason why there's walls up is because there are these humanoid looking monster creatures called Titans. These Titans stem from 5 meters tall all the way up to 20 meters tall. Some of these things get really, really big. On average, they're large, and they have one goal, as it seems, and their goal is to eat the humans. That's it. They want to eat people. They have those walls to protect, and they barricaded themselves over many years to protect themselves from the outside world, the huge outside vast world where these big, huge Titans are just roaming free and naked, bruh. They're naked, humanoid-looking creatures who try to eat the humans at any chance they can get. And we are introduced to this character named Eren Yeager. Eren Yeager is a brash, stubborn, short-tempered, courageous, emo brat of a kid who looks up to a certain aspect of this city. They're called scouts. The scout force are the ones who leave beyond the wall. Think of them, if you watch Game of Thrones, these are the Rangers. The scouts are what Rangers do for the Night's Watch. You know how the Night's Watch has the Great Wall? It's the very same thing. And the White Walkers look beyond the wall. But instead, it's not the White Walkers, it's the Titans. And they have the Rangers that are in this show called Scouts that go out beyond the wall to expand, hunt down, and kill certain, and just, you know, to thrive and live and seek. And that's what they do. And Eren Yeager is the main character of this story who looks up to the Scouts and wants to be them one day. He has this best friend named Armin. His best friend name is Armin. He is a certified beach-made pussy. He's a genius. He is an intellect. He is very scary. He has no confidence in himself. He's a very timid character. So timid that it pisses you the freak off at just how cowardice he actually is. I don't care about the character Armin. I understand what he brings, but I don't care about him. And to be honest, I don't care about Eren Yeager either. Eren Yeager has this adopted sister who is in love with him called Mikasa. Shout out to Mikasa because she is the character that I care about the most. And I throw those quotations up there, and that's really important to why this show is dope. It's because I don't really care, and I don't think that you need to really care about the characters of this show to like and maybe even love this show. There's not a single character in this show that I love. There's Mikasa, who I like. I like her. I'm not heavily in like, I'm not like, oh, I just like her. There's a character that I'll get to who is probably second most liked by me so far. But I just want to let you guys know that right now. It's not the type of show that you need to get behind the characters. You don't have to get behind a Jon Snow if you don't want to. It's because the story is that good. the reality in which all these people exist in this world it's just that good, that riveting, that interesting, that deadly, that tense, that I think it's enough for people to just enjoy this as a general story. And like Game of Thrones, this is I've never really, can't remember hearing the comparisons, but when people were trying to sell me on this show, they really just needed to say it's Game of Thrones anime. It's what it is to me. And because you don't need to get behind a Jon Snow or Robert Stark or a Ned Stark to appreciate the show. Characters die in the show. Characters that you probably thought would live, they die in this motherfucker, bro. And I'm gonna tell you something right now, bro. When I was learning about the brashness of Eren Yeager, and I was like, this kid's a freaking douchebag. By the first episode, it took my heart out my chest, and I buckled in. Because, that second episode, when we see, him in the house, and then his mother, his daring mother, who I don't know if she's daring, but they did a good job of making her look daring. I felt like she was daring. She felt like a mama, because I didn't know that how is it that you could make me feel some type of way about a character I just met. The way the Titan broke into that house, crashed in there, picked the mama up. She was trapped under the rubble, and she was like, "Go, take your brother, take him far away." And she was crying. And in these scenes, and there's lots of scenes like it, somehow this mom, I don't know, was so believable. The voice acting of this show is excellent, by the way. The voice timing is excellent. The score and the music is excellent. I love some of the music beats that they lend themselves to the dramatic or the happiness of the scenes that I'm watching. It's got tasteful comedy in there. I really love that too. They don't go overboard with it. It's just enough. The scene where the mother gets pulled out by a Titan and proceeds to be eaten in front of her child by a Titan. Got watery-eyed. I'm not even gonna lie. I got watery-eyed for a character I just met. That's some good shit. That's some really good shit right there. I really appreciated that. I'm like, wow, the freak going on? And it's just the execution of it. They slowed down the moment. They played that score, that song. They talk to themselves in their head a lot, and you kind of feel it. You kind of grasp it. Even though the amount of time that only passed up was maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds between the time mom said, "Get the freak out of here," and the Titan comes and eats her, a lot goes down. And that's a positive and a negative when it comes to this show. In this situation, it was definitely a positive. It was a scout that tried to come and save the day that took the kids away, was faced with a Titan, and he beached out and he ran away. He ran away from that Titan because he feared the Titan. I thought he was running away because he knew something else, like he's just trying to get away because something about the Titan is different. I didn't know until he said later on, and he pleaded to the kids and broke down and cried about how he failed their mother. He said, "I was terrified. I was scared. I'm a coward." You get it? And this was one of the scouts that Yeager looked up to. Broke down, terrified, and he's supposed to be the soldier that protects the city. I thought that was profound and deep. And by the third episode, I was like, I'm being honest here. By the third episode, I was telling myself, this is going to be an excellent show. This is going to be an anime like I've probably never seen. And I'm getting into anime for the first time on my channel. This is going to be, at this pace, Dragon Ball Z beware. That's what I was telling myself. That trajectory did not continue. I don't know if you guys can hear the horns outside. It's the school. I have the local teachers are driving around the neighborhood honking the horns. "We miss you, students." It's pretty nice, but forgive me if you hear the horns. Understand that I freaking lost my train of thought just now for a second. God dang. All right, so I was talking about the Titan, the show. Oh, jeez, I forgot. I was hitting a point. Anyway, I'm just gonna. Hopefully, I'll freaking catch it again. So seeing. So when I was watching this 3 episodes in, I really felt like I was watching something special. Now I'm gonna tell you, it did not continue that trajectory that I thought it would. I didn't even think it. I was like, whoa, let's see. This show can't be that good. It calmed down a little bit. There were some moments in the show where it got a little dull, a little slow. A lot of, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. of something that happens in the show a lot. And I don't think it's that is limited to the show. I think that it's an anime trope, what you call anime tropes. I think it's just an anime thing where we're running for our lives. We're seconds from doom, but somehow, and the Titan is right there. I can see the Titan's about to kill me, but somehow I'm having a conversation with Jaeger and we're going back and forth, thinking, but we're thinking, oh, I don't know what to, They live in their heads so much in this anime, and it just, the Titan is about to step on you. And in the time that the Titan's foot is about to crush your body, you're like this, in your head, talking to yourself for the viewer, right? For me. But I'm in my head, I'm watching, I'm like, bro, the foot is supposed to kill you already. Why? You could spend 8 minutes, I'm exaggerating, you could spend 3 minutes in a talking scene while the foot is supposed to be in and smash you 2 minutes and 58 seconds ago. Slow it down. They really stretch stuff out here. And that becomes a little bit of annoyance. That's just a little con that I'm throwing out there. The characters, man. Eren Yeager, I don't like him. I don't dislike him really either. I'm just like in the middle on the guy. Armin, the genius, freak him, bro. Mikasa, they do a really good job at the backstory of a lot of these characters, including Mikasa. The episode where Yeager rescued her and killed those murderous rapists, slave traders, that was freaking savage and raw. That's deep, man. There's blood in this shit. People are getting killed, bro. I'm gonna tell you another thing. I like that shit, bro. This is grown up. This is adult. This speaks to me. Stakes, baby. There are stakes in this show. Very good stakes here. And the story about Mikasa, I love it, man. I like the backstory. Told the story well. Jaeger's father, forgive me if I'm tripping. Where is he? Because I saw him riding on a horse. I'm coming. But I don't think I seen him after that. Like, and that's the biggest issue with this show is the editing. It jumps from scene to scene without kind of making it clear that we're just jumping from scene. It'll be in a dialogue and then go to another scene, and I'm like, wait, whoa, what just happened? Why are we here? What? And then by the time it comes back, you're like, oh, so that was a cutaway. That was a poor job at cutaway. Their cutaways and the editing in here is really bad. They need to fix that, make it more obvious that that's what we're doing here. Maybe darken up, cloudy up the scene a little bit. They'll do a cutaway of a scene that looks like it's that same day somewhere else. And it's hard to tell the difference between a flashback and what's actually happening in real time. A little confusing to me. I think that they should clean that up. Hopefully they clean that up in season 2. But that's another gripe. That's probably the biggest one for me, because you could kind of get confused when you're trying to pay attention to these lineage stories that tend to go side to side and diagonally. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, fine. So the dad, I lost track of him. I think I lost track of the dad in a cutscene. I don't know if they showed the demise of the father, or if I don't remember seeing it, and I don't know if it was a cutscene or not. Freak. Where is daddy at? So this key that Jaeger has on his neck is supposed to have some purpose. It's supposed to get into the cellar. He's supposed to use it to unlock something in the cellar, in the rubble of his home. In this season, they never went there. I mean, wait a minute. How is it that you introduced to me that key is vital and important, and you're telling the people of the city that, yeah, this is important and it's vital, and then you never took the opportunity to go back home, use the key to find out the secrets of what's going on? Well, here's a secret. This motherfucker could turn into a Titan. Bruh, when he turned into a Titan, when they were fighting the Titans in the city, it was built up great and organically, and they're doing their thing, and Mikasa is a savage. She is a skilled warrior. Mikasa is with that business, bruh. Mikasa is like almost the strongest. She's the second strongest fighter in this entire show that I have seen so far. Shout out to Mikasa. She was about to die, and in comes this Titan, this different looking Titan that is just destroying the other Titans. I saw a Titan punch a Titan. I'm like, whoa, what's going on now? This is the big turn of the show, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then he's just destroying these Titans, hard, heavy punches, really good animation, good score, great stuff going on, really good eye candy, good to see. But my curiosity was looming, and to find out that was Jaeger, and somehow he was imbued with some ability gifted to him by his father, somehow allows him to turn into a Titan himself when he bites and breaks his skin on his hand, and he has a purpose to do so. Only when he has a purpose to do so and bites the skin on his hand, he can turn into a Titan. And I think that is fantastic. Seeing, and then, I was dealt with, they threw a lot of, I can't control it. Oh, I'm trying to fight it and figure it out. That whole power struggle sheet, because they don't want to make him too strong to make the show fast. So, Thanos turned the timer down to slow that down a lot. So there was a few episodes about him not wanting to be a Titan. Blah, 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 blah. There was an episode where he turned into half a Titan. It was just a torso that blocked the cannon. I'm like, what the freak? This shit is getting kind of weird now. How you just form a whole muscly body with a skeleton out of nothing? Where'd that come from? I don't know. Still don't know to this day. Hopefully we'll figure that shit out. So that blows up everything out of proportion. And now the scouts are like, who are you, monster? And they wanted to kill him. And that's the genius of this show, ladies and gentlemen. This show is really good because it's so real world. It's not so far from reality. That's exactly how people would act. That's exactly how people would act when the status quo flips in a script just like that. It's exactly how fear consumes the hearts of many. And that's exactly how they would take it out. And I could see a lot of people doing that. The people were starving. The people were hungry. The merchants were eating well. And the regular commoners and the soldiers were starving for bread. I mean, for a loaf of bread or a soft boiled potato girl. What are we talking about? They're struggling and fight. It's real world consequences, and I bought into that world because it made sense to me. It was very believable. This show is human. It's a very human show that I can understand and reason with, especially with the coronavirus times and the hashtag rest in peace George Floyd. With all these times that we live in to this day, it speaks to me. It speaks to me because it's telling its own unique story within this fictitious world, but it tells so many truths about the human condition. And I think that's where this thing shines. It's so buyable. I'm buying what they're selling. And to see that these soldiers are so afraid of these Titans, it's the real human they're like they're terrified. There's a lot of moments where they actually risk their lives and they die. The Titans kill them, smack them against the building, blood splattering there. They eat them. And these are characters that I watched kind of organically grow within the core training, and they're dead in the very same episode. That's some real shit. That's some real shit that I appreciate. And to see how scared everyone is. And for some reason, I didn't put myself in it like, you guys are all bitches. Man, go fight them Titans. I felt their fear too, because it felt real to me, because I believed and bought into the story. Because if I was one of those soldiers, I'd be freaking scared too. I don't know if I could lead those men. Even the leader of the men were scared, and that's what made him a good leader. And the men told him that. You're not a great leader because you're not scared. You're scared just like the rest of us. It's the fact that you're scared and you're still willing to do it. That's why we want to follow you. People gave their lives to fight to protect that city, man. Being a freaking scout is a raw job. That's a raw job, bro. And I forgot the other faction. Not the military police, but the other faction. That's a rough job to have. So they catapult on these cables. It's kind of weird. It's hooked to their belt, and they're able to swing and somersault. I like that idea. That's really dope, and that's unique. And they have these blades that the Titan's weak spot is on the back of the neck. If you hit this spot with a certain amount of ferocity and depth and a certain width cut, you can kill a Titan. And some of these Titans' faces are the funniest thing. I honestly, they run. She be effing me up, bro. The animation on these Titans' faces, basically, they're all out of Wayne's World and Saved by the Bell. They all have these stoner faces. Some of them got the, so it's their faces that F me up. They're all naked, by the way. No cock. No women either. But they're naked. They have the derpiest faces, bro. They look like 40-year-old plumbers. Oh. It's their derpy faces. It's a little creepy. It's a little creepy because some of them look like everyday regular people. A 40-year-old politician, a 20-year-old cop, a basketball playing, a stoner, a junkie. the faces that some of them are just smiling and some of them are, they're just, the faces animation on them is funny. It kills me, but they're deadly. So that gives it a sinister, inner eerie feeling that helps the show. So then we find out in this episode, in this season, that Jaeger becomes a Titan. And we only find that out after Jaeger himself was eaten by a derpy-faced, weird-looking Titan. He died. At least that's what I thought. When I saw Jaeger go in that mouth, and I was like, oh my God. Well, he didn't eat. I noticed that he didn't bite him in half. He ate him whole. So I said, whoa, he got to still be alive in there somehow. That's my instinct. But I was like, bruh, it's a wrap. They're really treating it like he's gone. People are mourning. It's over. They're moving on. And I'm like, wow, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, dang, who am I going to root for now? Who am I looking at? And then I looked around. I'm like, there's nobody. I didn't even root for him. This is a good show. Like, the main guy died and I didn't care because the story was that awesome. I wanted to see vengeance be exacted on these Titans because they're evil. I don't care who did it. I don't care who does the heroic work. You can bring someone up out of nowhere, and that's what they did. And I'm fine with it. That's why this show shines. Shines without the need of awesome characters to get. You don't need a Goku or a Vegeta or a Piccolo. You don't need a Naruto or a Neji. You don't need a Sasuke. You don't need a Toph. You don't need a freaking a Zuko or a Zula or Katara. You don't need a Aang. You don't. This show and this story is just that good. The politics of it, the real world feel, the city, the dialogue is great. I like the way that they explain how they feel and they relay it with the translation to me really well. I watched dub and I'm satisfied with it. Voice work was great. Timing was great. And the way it was explained to me was great. Got some really good, it's well written. This is a very well written show. They start to venture and deal. Now we know we got this Titan guy. What we going to do now? We're going to utilize this motherfucker. Let him take that rock and block up the wall. That kind of gave him a little bit more trust. Now let's go beyond the wall with this iconic dude. Enter Captain Levi. Captain Levi is by far, hands down, the best soldier in this freaking show. I freaking didn't know who the freak he was, but I know one of my subscribers has that name, and now I understand. Captain Levi. As soon as I saw his face, I said, wait a minute, that face looked familiar. Captain Levi? What the freak? I said, all right, let's see what this fool's about. He's kind of a douche, doesn't show emotion, doesn't have emotion. He seems heartless, seems very heartless, and he's incredibly skilled. And he's taking Jaeger, and he managed to convince and trick the government to let Jaeger live under his tutelage. I'll take him under my wing, show him the way. And he's kind of teaching him without teaching him. He's kind of letting him figure it out on his own, but pushing him in a certain direction whenever he needs it. He's a bad teacher. He's a bad leader, in my opinion. His team was annihilated on his watch because of the decisions he chose to make. Jaeger is very much a pussy. He complains a lot. I really don't like that. If he complains and he puts his chest out like he that dude, but he don't ever want to flex. You flex, but you ain't throwing no punches though. You want to flex? Turn to a Titan and save everybody. Trust us. I'm about to turn to this Titan, bitch. You see us getting mopped? You see this freaking female? There's a female Titan chasing him in the forest. It all went to shit. People are dying left and right. She's smacking them in trees, running extra fast. And then comes to the time where they all died because that female Titan served them up. So then Jaeger, he turns into his big Titan, and we saw the big Titan brawl in the forest with the female. Now, they were fighting, and Jaeger is just, he's full of such rage that he's trash because of it. He's not able to control his body. He's like Deku. Worse, he just breaks his own bones. He'll swing real hard, break his own hand. Now he ain't got no hands. Now you're getting your shit wrecked. And they were going back and forth. You know, she was dodging all of his punches. She was playing with him. The female Titan was playing with him. I said, this fool is whack, bro. That big old body. That big, huge body. You were beating up them little dumb motherfuckers. You were beating up them little retarded ones. But when you got a real motherfucker that was like you got your sheet pushed in sideways twice. She kicked a tree trunk and his head in half. And she looked like she didn't want to do it. She kind of paused for a second and then said, "Wabah!" Kicked it in half. And I didn't appreciate just seeing it. The first time it showed us, it cut in half. We didn't see how he got his head cut in half. Later on in another episode, it showed a flashback that showed that it was a kick. I don't like stuff like that. Just show the kick, man. That shit is confusing. So anyway, she kicked his freaking head in half, and I was like, wow, that's freaking crazy. And it was a point where I was like, I was so disappointed in Eren Yeager. Like, you're a bad Titan. You're not good at this. And you should know better because you've done this before. He's damaged his hands and gotten beat up by her before. So like you should know better than this. And I'm like, bro, you suck. So anyway, she turned up on him and and then she swallowed him, ripped him out and swallowed him whole. And I'm thinking to myself, why did she swallow him whole? She took him out of the body, swallowed him whole, and ran with him. I'm thinking to myself, is that his mother? No, I saw his mother die. I'm like, wait, yeah, that Titan pulled her apart or like ripped her in half, bit her in half. She's dead. Then I was thinking, maybe that's her father in a female Titan body to disguise himself. I thought it was his father. I really did. I didn't think it was the double agent. And then come to find out it's a double agent. It was the freaking blonde girl who was a Titan. And I'm like, wait a minute. Because I saw her crying when Captain Levy came in G form fast. Sliced the freak up out of that Titan and crippled her again and then took Yeager and saved her out of the Titan's mouth. She was crying. I said, why is she crying? She wanted her Yeager. That's why I was like, dang, is that her dad? Is that his dad? She loves him. It shows like affection there a little bit. But then later on in the episode, she was that was really good storytelling. So there was a plot that the smart one, Armin, knew. He assumed it was her, and they had this huge plan to try to lure her in a tunnel, and then she stopped the tunnel. No, I can't do this. And the back and forth was very smart and eerie. It was like a whodunit. You finally pulled the veil over me. That's some good shit, bro. I'm not expecting no reveal whodunit murder mystery up in an anime, and I got that in this. And I'm like, that's freaking dope. She said, I can't do it. And she just, wow. I'm like, oh, she said, okay, you're a Titan. Fine, you don't mean shit to me. You never did, even when I saw your lazy face around the training camp. But okay, we'll run with it. What's going on? It's not the fact that it was her. It's the fact of who she's working for. I want to know, who is she doing bidding for? Because she definitely wanted to get Yeager alive until I saw that she stopped him out with the foot. And I was like, okay, well, maybe she didn't know. And then he finally goes Titan and they have the rematch. And she's running and his rage was like Vegeta mode. It was enough to get the job done. He kind of defeated her a little, maybe. He had help. He needed help. So she got defeated, and when it came time for him to bite her and eat her, he didn't. He paused because she saw the tears and the flashback of her father or her grandfather, but he didn't see that. We saw it, the viewer. So he's just in there looking at the tears, and he hesitated. And in that hesitation, she turned herself encapsulated herself into a diamond. Somehow she's alive in there, not breathing. I don't know what the freak is going on, but there's a diamond around her, and nobody could get in it. And I was really, really upset at that. It really pissed me off as a viewer. It really made me feel like they pulled the rug under me a little bit. And we know why they did it. They want me to come see season 2. So they got to get that bitch out of the jewel to find out who she's working for. And that's basically where we're at with the show. A lot of stuff I could have covered, but what the freak you want from me? This is a fantastic season. This is a fantastic show that doesn't need characters. It has a very real, organic feel to it, whether it be fear, whether it be happiness, joy, anger, sorrow, rage. It's real and it hits me from within. Attack on Titan is a very, very darn good show. Belied, I see, my friend, why you like this anime the most. This is freaking excellent work. and I can't wait to see season 2. But for now, I give Attack on Titan ace. What else should it have gotten? What else should have gotten ace? A plus? Nah. There's a little bit of trimming, for the little things that I talked about. All right, this could have been, but hey, let's get that A, bruh. So yeah, this show is absolute fire fuego. Thank you guys so very much for watching this spoiler review. Put down in the comment section what you guys think. Shout out to Balide because this is the request that he wanted. I'm doing this for Balide because I love me some Balide, bro. And then next, we'll do Naruto for the homie Shibuizi. Then we're going to do JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you to all the members and the donators of Jody's Corner that allow me to do things like this. I appreciate you guys. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.